Good morning. This is your girl, Reagan Adams with All Things Reagan. Thank you guys for joining me this morning or whenever you are going to come back on here. So I'm not going to be before you long because we got to get out of here. But I wanted to encourage you while I encourage myself this morning. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my day yesterday. I'm going to try not to go overboard. But I am a part of Girl Boss Suites, which is a co-working space in Houston. And the owner really believes in collaboration and doing things on a collaboratory basis with different businesses. And she had a collaboration event yesterday with two different co-working spaces. And I was super duper tired, but I was like, let me just go and check it out. She had an event called Co-working in the City, and what that is different businesses, women-owned businesses came in to work on their stuff and get the space for that, but also learn a little bit more about the co-working space and get help with their businesses, which was great. I was late and I had to leave early, which was crazy, but I am a single mother, so you gotta do what you gotta do when you gotta do it. So anyway, the space, listen to me, it was everything. Like the vibe of the city, everything, the people in the city, everything. I just really, really had a good time. Also, I overcame a fear of mine yesterday. So I know a lot of people will look at me and say, oh my gosh, she just gets up and she goes. And her slogan is, I think it, I see it, I do it. And it is. But I did have a fear yesterday of being down in the city. So for those who do not know me personally, I love the city. But to actually be in a city that I don't necessarily know about and by myself is a thing for me. And so I...
Head to your pickup at Yes Donuts.
Sorry, guys. So when I was in the city, like, it's huge, and then I'm down there with the train and then all of this stuff, I had to eventually go and be by myself after lunch, and I've never caught the train here. Matter of fact, I've caught trains before, but I've always been with somebody because I've always been like, oh gosh, my sense of direction sometimes is like, off. And so I get nervous about finding my way around. And I was able to tackle a big fear of mine, which is going smack dab into the middle of the city by myself locate a huge building and try to navigate the city and navigate getting to my destination, as well as riding the train by myself, which is a big thing because I've never even rode the city bus. So if I had to take the bus, yeah, it'd be a whole situation. The train, it'd be a situation. But one of my friends told me a few months ago, Reagan, you got to learn how to take the train. So I took the train. And I know that seems very small to some people, but that was a big feat for me. And I've really felt my footing and very comfortable in the event yesterday. Met a lot of great women, made a lot of great connections, had great conversations. Now, y'all know I love a good conversation, and I had a lot of them yesterday. And so the one thing I love about this city, and especially the business city and the Black and brown community, is that they're like, everybody's doing something. And when they're talking about what they do, it's like, wow, you're doing all of this. This means it's achievable. But then it's also not from a braggadocious standpoint. It's like, this is what I'm doing. And if you need help, I will help you. And I love that. And that's all I typically run into. I don't really run into the crab in a barrel. It's always, how may I extend my help to you? So had a great day, then was met on my way home to go pick my daughter. Met with a conversation that disturbed my spirit to its core. And so I'm not going to necessarily talk about the conversation, but what I will talk about is not putting your children as a priority. Now, I know that sounds crazy. You had children to, love them, care for them, nurture them, making sure that they become upstanding citizens, that they live their best life in and on purpose. But I do not believe they should be your everything. I do believe when you have them, there are a lot of things that you do have to give up, but living life is not one of them. So over the past couple of weeks, I have been really thinking, and even longer than that, let me step back a little bit. One of my prayers was that when we moved to Houston, that it would be great for myself and my daughter. So I wanted to thrive, and I also wanted my daughter to thrive. But when you're a single mother, you don't have any help. I don't have any help. It's just me. It's just me that I have to meet all the financial responsibilities to make sure that we're good, right? And sometimes it's hard to make sure that you're balancing, getting the bills paid, meeting the need, making sure that you're living in purpose, making sure she's straight, mentally, physically, and emotionally. She's also, got anemia, so working on that. And in a balance. But I've seen, for those who don't know, I have an event called Putting Me First. And Putting Me First came from me losing myself in my marriage and my child. Now, what that entails is I felt like I was depressed. So what I didn't have at that time was a balance. So I was work, home, church, family. And at that point, I had gained a bunch of weight. I wasn't combing my hair. It just was not a good situation. And so God gave me the event Putting Me First to make sure, and you don't put anybody before God, but to make sure that you're living your life in purpose. And when you're happy, your children will be happy. When you're happy, your spouse will be happy, or your mate or whoever will be happy. And so the person told me, like, your child should be your everything till she gets out of high school. Absolutely not. She's not. You know who's my everything? Jesus Christ. God is my everything. I absolutely love my child. I want to see her thrive. I want to see her do it. I want to see her get it, live the best life she can. I'm trying to set her up for that. Although it may not be through a perfect lens, I'm doing the best and will continue to try to do other things to make those things happen. But I also have to live a life, because what's going to happen and what's already happening is my daughter has her own sets of friends. My daughter wants to go out and do things that have absolutely nothing to do with me. And guess what's going to happen? She's going to eventually leave. And I have that type of daughter that will probably move out of the country at 18. I do. Or somewhere away from me. And guess what I have to do? Prepare myself to have my own life when she's gone. Therefore, I'm not wrapped up in her like, oh my gosh, Kenny, when are you coming to see your mother? You don't love me anymore. Girl, I'm not doing all of that. Because guess what? While she's out here rolling around in the streets and having a good time and studying and making money and all of this stuff, her mama is too. Her mom is too. And so I talk to my daughter, we have conversations, and I already told her, look, I'm not going to always be here. Like, it's going to be times where I'm going to be absent. But the great thing is that I have a daughter that's understanding. If there's a problem, she's going to talk to me about it. And we try to have that open communication, right? But then I also try to balance time with her. Now, is it always perfect? Absolutely not. But sometimes that time and that going places is not going to always be, right? It's not always going to be, but that's a sacrifice we have to make sometimes. And here it is, it's going to build her character in the long run, okay? It's going to build her character, and it builds mine. But we are imperfect people, period. We're imperfect. And, I strive for perfection, but it's never going to happen. So all I can do is do the best I can. I'm human. Lord, I thank you for the breath in my body, the strength in my body to be able to do what I need to do. But I'm not going to, my child is not everything to me. I know that sounds crazy. I love you. But what I look like, just focus all on her, and I'm sitting here looking crazy and working a job I don't like, and I know people that's the sacrifice. That's your sacrifice. That's not my sacrifice. Because guess what? When I make it and my daughter sees me out in the crowd and I'm being able to move and speak in front of hundreds, thousands of people and making an impact on people, guess what? That's attractive to her. Because guess what that shows her? My mom can do anything. And if she can do it, I can do it. I don't want her to see me being around here miserable. Because her story will be like, mama took great care of me. We spent great time together, but she didn't have no life. She didn't have no man. And guess what? I'm getting married again. I am. And if she's my life, I can't date. And I know some people say, well, that's a sacrifice. Again, that's your sacrifice. That's not going to be mine. I'm going to try to live a balanced life. Now, it's a little off balance right now because we just moved. I'm trying to find my footing. But again, that's the conversation that we have, right? So anyway, I got to get out of here and take my child to school. But you guys have a blessed day. I just wanted to say two things. And just make sure you're trying to balance out as much as you can. But I want you to go and follow your dreams, even when you have children, especially when you have children. When you are going and finding your footing and they see how you move and how you handle things, they see the ups, the downs, they see the wins, they see the losses. they are looking at you. That's a part of parenting, right? And that's a part of them having stick-to-itiveness and a part of them growing and seeing what they can do. If you can accomplish things like this move, it seems very big, and it is very big. But it shows that she can move too. She's not going to be stuck in just one place. And so that's a part of parenting, right? And I just wanted to encourage you to live your best life to the fullest. When you are happy, your spouse is happy. When you are happy, your children are happy. And yes, find a balance. Yes, you do have to take those times to be selfish, and then unselfless. You do have to sacrifice for your children. I got that. I do it all the time, whether it's something that she sees or anybody else to see. But guess what? I'm not living my life for anybody else. I live unapologetically. And yes, some people can come and speak to in my life and tell me certain things. That's great. I'm always open to different conversations, and sometimes I may not agree with you, but I'm going to take what you say and put it in my back pocket, right? And I will use it when I need to. But I really want you to concentrate on living your best life in and on purpose, and let your children see that. When they see that, they get excited to live life too, and then they have a wonderful story about how they saw their parents strive for the best in the midst of adversity, and then even if there's no adversity, they see the ups and downs of life. So that's a part of raising your kids. And so I'm happy about this journey that my daughter and I are on. And again, I love her, and I want to see her thrive, and she will thrive. We are in a city where black and brown people can absolutely thrive, and they believe in us thriving. They believe in minority businesses. They give us ample opportunity. And where that co-working space that I visited yesterday, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And so I'm just excited about the opportunities that we have, and I'm going to be looking forward to finding different opportunities for my child. She can't work until she's 16 here. And then also, side note, and this is very, very important, the dynamic of your family. Don't let anybody come in and try to raise your family, because everybody's situation is different, right? I know the dynamics of my family, and I'm stubborn too. That's another side note. Most of the time, if you don't have fruit, I'm not listening to you. I automatically block you out. So be very mindful of the information that you take in from people concerning your family and your well-being, because some people just not are for you. And it may seem like they are sometimes, and they're just not. And so anyway, but that's all I wanted to tell you guys. I wanted to encourage you this morning. I love you guys. I love myself. Love your children. Hug on them extra tight. Have conversations with them. They not number one. The only one number one is Jesus, right? They gonna fall in there somewhere, but you take care of them and you sacrifice, but don't sacrifice them over yourself, because you have to have your own lifeline. That's how it works in the airplane. If the airplane is going down and you need oxygen, they tell you, the stewardess says, put the mask on for yourself first before you can help anybody. That's life. We've all heard it, right? So you have to take care of yourself first, and then you take care of everybody else. If you're not taken care of, you can't take care of nobody else. And do not apologize for that. You guys have a blessed day. This is your girl, Reagan Adams, with All Things Reagan. And Reagan says, I think it, I see it, I do it, and you should too. Have a good one.